Okay, what an episode we got tonight. I'm going to bring up, I'm all frazzled right now because I've got so much going on in my mind from that episode here. Oops, wrong one. I'm trying to put up my little thing here. There it is. There we go. All right. Yes, what an episode we got tonight here for Ahsoka episode 4, Fallen Jedi. I might as well say right off the bat, there will be spoilers in the discussion. It's not necessarily a spoiler review. This is more a discussion, a reaction. This is not me watching the episode and you're watching me watch the episode. That's not what's going on here. This is me with an instant reaction to episode 4, because this is the episode that I think a lot of us were maybe waiting for. And it's ironic because next week's episode is Dave Filoni's episode. So we must be going into the utter reaches of the mysticism and the witchcraft stuff and madness that goes on in Dave Filoni's mind when he approaches Star Wars, and especially what he did in Star Wars Rebels. But this episode was insane, directed by Peter Ramsey. I mean, the gentleman should be directing more Star Wars episodes if this is the kind of episode he can deliver on his first try. What an amazing episode. Fallen Jedi, a lot of connotations that, again, there are spoilers. We're going to be spoiling. Do not, I almost feel like I should put it up on the screen. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. If I had a way to flash that up on the screen, I would. There will be spoilers tonight, but I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to keep repeating that as I jump into things here. But what an episode we got tonight. A lot of fantastic lightsaber battles. Maybe not any that could rival the best ever, but still exciting action. You know, we've been waiting. We've been building over the last 3 episodes. A lot of the complaints from people have been like, come on, where's the action? You know, Ahsoka's so dour. What's the situation here? Well, this is what they were leading to. They had to lay the groundwork in the first 3 episodes so we could have this awesome episode here. And I absolutely loved it and enjoyed it. Started out slow, as these great episodes usually do, a little bit of a build, and then we get all the way to the ending, which was utterly shocking. What a shocking ending. I was texting with all of my friends tonight, like a lot of capital letters, a lot of OMG, a lot of exclamation points for that ending. But this was so well constructed as you were watching the episode, right? The slow build initially. We're on Seatos. The ship is down. We need to get it fixed. HUYANG is trying to get it fixed with Sabine. Ahsoka is outside, just kind of probably meditating, doing her Jedi thing. Well, even though she's not a Jedi, but sitting out there as a gray Jedi and kind of maybe processing everything that's going on. And then we have these conversations with Ahsoka and Sabine about, listen, if we can't stop Morgan Elsbeth, we've got to destroy this thing. If we don't destroy this thing, then Thrawn could come back. So are you ready to sacrifice Ezra for Thrawn? Are you to stop Thrawn? Are you willing to do this? And Sabine says, you can count on me. Absolutely. But we all know, like, Sabine is obsessed with kind of having closure with Ezra. Certainly we saw in the first episode, she has the hologram. She still probably rewatches it, kind of like an old answering machine, kind of like Baron Zemo listening to his wife's voice over and over again in that answering machine, which I thought was fantastic. And we're establishing the groundwork. We're laying the groundwork for what's coming later on in the episode for sure. And then when we go back to Morgan and HATI and BAYLAN, we know BAYLAN, the droids there, the guards have figured out where they are. And it's funny to me, she says, HATI says 12 clicks. I think that's funny to me because that's American military parlance being used in space. So, but whatever with that, those are those things you kind of have to accept about Star Wars sometimes. But yeah, 12 clicks this way, 12 clicks that way. Very fun. I don't say how they do clicks in space, but whatever. Maybe that crossed over and stayed around as a thing to use. But I thought it was funny to have that. But yeah, he sends HATI and the guards. Morgan says the guards aren't going to do much. BAYLAN says, yeah, but she will. And then we get this situation where the guards attack Ahsoka, Sabine, and HUYANG. HUYANG, by the way, can hold his own. Not bad for some droid martial arts. Respect to HUYANG. I thought it was a good back and forth there. He's probably a pacifist, but he will use his moves when he has to. And I thought that was a really funny sequence in the show as well. And then when we get to is that lightsaber battle there with all the with Sabine and Ahsoka against all those guards over pretty quickly, and then they take off because the ship's down. Ahsoka tells HUYANG, hey man, get in touch with HERA because we got to get going and get to that home base and get to that map. So we see them take off, and who do they run into but Merrick and HATI? And then a fantastic battle with going on at the same time, Shin Hati and Sabine. And you can, by the way, the Ivana Sakno and Natasha Liu Bordizzo doing fantastic work in the standoff here. You know, there have been some complaints, there have been some issues people have had, but there was some really good acting here. They didn't do too much. They didn't overdo it. They didn't overplay the emotions, which I've seen happen. Listen, I'm an actor. This is what I'm watching for, is the reality of the situation. Where are you at? Can I read it in your face? The micro movements, the micro emotions going on in your face. Can I believe the things that you're doing? And the standoff between them facially, you know that Shin Hati almost took it as an offense that Sabine would dare to challenge her again. And Sabine having that need for vengeance, need for revenge, because she was bested last time she took on Shin Hati. And then Merrick and Ahsoka do their own thing. And I don't know about you, but for me, okay, again, spoilers. If you haven't watched the episode, I will be spoiling some things. So if you haven't watched the episode, dog, I'm telling you right now, stop right now. Stop right now. Go and watch it and come back. But if you've watched the episode, I'm going forward. Spoilers. But this battle between Ahsoka and Merrick, to me, mirrored Twin Sons with Darth Maul and Kenobi. I don't know about anybody else, but I got that vibe off their battle in Clone Wars, and it was pretty cool to see the samurai aspect of it all. Merrick and the Inquisitor, you know, trying to throw her off, and we see that in samurai films when they use the swords there and move quickly to try to throw off the person they're facing, and the person they're facing is just calm and patient, and she is calm and patient like a samurai. And throughout that battle with Merrick, she's got that smirk on her face because she relishes the challenge. This is the thing about Ahsoka. Ahsoka is a sweet, caring, empathetic person, but certainly when it's time to fight, she enjoys the fight. And so that's always been with her since she was Snips. And we'll get to Snips in a little bit. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And the way she ended it with just one move, just like Maul and Kenobi, I thought was fantastic. And really interesting ending, what we got there from Eric. It was like Endgame, right? The snap and or Infinity. Infinity. Yeah. As you see that in Infinity War, yeah, this is just the snap in the dust, right? That's what you got there. And so for me, I was really surprised by that. So all our theories, in essence, I wonder if this is Filoni doing something to laugh at us by having our theories all literally go up in dust right in front of us as we're watching that episode. I thought that was badass. There's no mystery here. This is not Ezra. This isn't anyone else. This is just some Inquisitor or some person in an Inquisitor outfit, and Ahsoka got the best of him eventually, and poof, he was gone into dust, which of course unsettles Shin Hati, which I thought was really interesting. And then Sabine tells Ahsoka to go get that map. Don't worry about me. I got to handle my business right here. And then Shin Hati and Sabine go at it. And I thought this was a really good battle. But of course, logically, Shin would get the upper hand eventually because Shin has been training more consistently than Sabine. I like that they didn't default to this desire to have the good person win, or the good person suspending disbelief that a good person could overcome a bad person who has been training for a very long time in their skills and uses the Force the way that she did, because she totally unsettles or I guess unsettles Sabine, because knocks off her weapons and knocks her to the ground, and Sabine is using all her instincts and all her yoga work to bend under those shots from Shin Hati, which I thought was pretty badass. But then I like how Sabine kind of tries to use the Force and maybe messing with Shin Hati, knows that she doesn't, and she says, "You have no power here." And then she uses her Mandalorian arm or a hand weapon there to knock out the lightsaber there. But Shin Hati noticing what happens to Merrick, and then noticing the space map, right? Because Ahsoka takes off. And what happens with the space map here, when she takes it off after her battle with Baylan, it shakes the ground. That throws Shin Hati off. And in that moment, Sabine could take her out, but instead she uses a smoke bomb, Shin does, and gets away. But when Ahsoka runs off, we have this. She ends up at that area with the space map there, and the ruins on Seatos, and her and BAYLAN go at it. And it's a fantastic battle, right? I thought it was badass, y'all. I thought it was an incredible battle between them. Good fights going on here between them, leading all the way. Everything's happening all around the ruins. And you saw the different techniques. You got to see the different techniques. Look, Ray Stevenson, not a young man, obviously, unfortunately, passed away, but certainly an older man. And so his moves are more laborious. His moves are stronger, whereas Ahsoka, who's a little younger, can move a bit more quickly around the ruins. And I thought that was pretty badass. I mean, her bouncing off the walls with the legs and swinging around, I thought that was so damn cool. And then trying to get the best of BAYLAN there, and the back and forth, right? BAYLAN initially, before the fight even starts, tries to play mind games with her, talking about Anakin and talking about Anakin's legacy. And, did you abandon him? Why did you abandon him? Maybe that's why he went to the dark side. A lot of people have made those theories, or talked about or speculated about that possibility. So BAYLAN trying to get inside her mind to mess with her a little bit. And I thought that was really cool. But Ahsoka's like, I'm not here to talk about my past, son. I'm here to take care of business in the present. I live in the present, man. It's very Buddhist. I live in the present, in the here and the now, in the moment. I ain't messing around my past or my future. I'm messing with what's going on here. But then BAYLAN has some interesting things to say, because he's saying that what he's doing is for the future, right? He's got some mysterious motive here about the future. There's something connected to Thrawn, something connected to a war, something that he wants to put in motion. What is BAYLAN's motivation? I'll tell you, what's fantastic about the show is that you're having all of these characters have different motivations, and we as human beings can understand. If you take yourself out of the whole good guys should win, bad guys should lose type of mentality, and really open your mind up to see these characters as multidimensional, as possessing different levels, different agendas, different instincts, all these things, you can really appreciate the things that they're doing and the moves that they're making and the mystery involved with these characters. Even Ahsoka is a little bit of a mystery, because we haven't really spent a lot of time with her during all the last 5 years or whatever. We haven't really seen a lot. So what has Ahsoka been through that has made her who she is, and made her be the fighter that she is now over the last few years? And with Sabine as well, we've had all this time away from Sabine, ever the rebel, but certainly tortured, it seems like, by the memories of Ezra and what happened with Ezra. So I like that that's a part of this. And then we get to BAYLAN, and BAYLAN, we're not sure what BAYLAN's motivation is either. Why does BAYLAN want to do the things that he's doing? What is this all about for BAYLAN? And I love that that's kind of left for us to kind of figure out as we explore this, and as he's making certain comments, as he's saying certain things. Where are we going with all of this? It's fascinating to explore here in the show for sure. 260 of you joining me live. Wow. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Really appreciate that, gang. I thought it was going to be like 100 people, but it's about 260. Thanks so much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please feel free to do so. Now, we just crossed 30,000 subscribers a couple of days ago on Labor Day. Nice little gift on Labor Day. So if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe down below and hit that bell button. I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by December 31st. It's a tall task to get 20,000 subscribers over the next 4 months, but I'm going to do my damnedest to do it, So, if they can build a hyperspace drive to yank Thrawn and Ezra out from the far reaches of the galaxy, damn it, then I should be able to get 20,000 subscribers over the next 4 months. We shall see, but please feel free. And also, the Streamlabs and Super Chats are open. Tim Sim, I see your Super Chat. Give me just a second. I will answer it. The Streamlabs and Super Chats are open. The Streamlabs address pinned in the chat right now. If you want to send something to support, or you want me to read one of your questions, thoughts, or comments here, I will do so. And of course, wow, we're up to 300 people joining me live. I appreciate this very, very much. Wow. But yeah, this is so interesting to see BAYLAN have this back and forth with Ahsoka. I thought that whole sequence was so badass. Just the conversations and the battle. There's a confidence, right? He's sitting, he's waiting for her. Again, this is samurai stuff. I'm waiting for you by the rock. I've got my sword ready, and as two warriors, we have respect for each other. So when I show up, I'm not going to try to trick you or attack you from behind or ambush you. I know this battle is coming. I am calmly waiting with my hood on and meditating until you show up, and then boom, they go at it, and it's a fantastic battle all around. And eventually which is really cool. As Morgan Elsbeth and the Eye of Sion are getting closer to getting the coordinates for Thrawn, we see this desperation come over Ahsoka, and she makes a beeline for that map and does some incredible moves all around, kind of like Catherine Zeta-Jones in Entrapment. She's like dancing all around the red security lasers there. You see Ahsoka doing all that with Baylan doing the best that he can to try to stop her, and she gets to that map, yanks it off, burns her hand in throwing the map, and they can't get the coordinates initially in the Eye of Sion. They can't finish getting the coordinates. So Ahsoka's done her job getting rid of that space map, and Baylan taking advantage of her in that moment because she's weakened. That's what you do. You take advantage of a weakened opponent after she initially got the best of him. And then we see and she thinks she sees Shin show up, and she thinks Sabine has been killed by Shin. And then she uses the Force to throw Shin with all kinds of force against a rock wall. Wow, it was pretty brutal usage of the Force. I'm surprised Shin didn't shatter her head or was bleeding or anything like that. So just shattered against the wall and then right down. So knocked out initially. But then Baylan gets the best of her eventually, almost pushing her off the cliff there. And then Sabine shows up just as Baylan is about to finish the job. And now Ahsoka's like, oh, Sabine, get the map, destroy the map. Sabine initially grabs that gun, is going to shoot the map, destroy the map. Remember that conversation at the beginning of the episode talking about when the moment comes, are you going to be able to destroy the map, which is the path to Ezra, or not? And Sabine had told her, you can count on me, you can count on me. And clearly she couldn't. And once again, these are multi-dimensional characters. We see that the allure of having her get closure or bring Ezra back, bring her friend back. We see the guilt of all of that overcome her in that moment, and she doesn't shoot the map. She doesn't destroy the map. That gives Baylan a little bit of confidence to go after Ahsoka, and he sends her over the cliff, then turns around and kind of stuff that we've seen before in Star Wars. Baylan uses all his tactics, his mental tactics to get through to Sabine. He uses his how can I say this? His power, his mind, and gets through to Sabine, finds out her connection to Ezra, and uses that against her, and uses that to manipulate her to put the map in his hand. And it's an interesting moment that is like, man, you could hate her for it, but you have to understand, right? This isn't Star-Lord letting the emotions get the best of him with Thanos. This is much more a person who cares about this person, and in the final moment couldn't destroy the path to this person because she cares about him so much, even if it means Thrawn might come back. So I love that as a moment of conflict that we're going to explore when Sabine and Ahsoka see each other again down the road here, wherever that's going to be here in the show. And then they end up on the ship on the Eye of Sion. Of course, the whole time HERA has gotten the message. HERA takes off with what I assume to be the Rangers of the New Republic there, with Carson Teva and that whole crew there, all those X-Wing fighters there. They roll on out of there, but by the time they get there, Morgan Elsbeth, because Baylan has gotten the map, he's put it back into its portal there, and they've gotten all the coordinates. Then he destroys the map. They get onto the ship, go to the Eye of Sion with Sabine in handcuffs after HATI tries to choke her with Force Choker, and Baylan makes her stop. They get back on the ship, and Sabine has to witness Morgan Elsbeth in her evil cruelness turn on the hyperspace drive, kill knock out two of the Jedi, two of the X-Wing fighters there, two of the X-Wing fighters, knocking them out and then taking off. And then we go, and again, spoilers. We should stop here for a second because I should answer some of these Streamlabs and super chats that have come through, and we'll hit to that final moment. There's 323 of you joining me live. Thank you so much for hanging out with me live. Maybe I should do a live reaction after every one of these episodes now that they're at a decent time here on the West Coast. But I appreciate you all hanging out with me. By the way, shout out to Heroes and Villains who provided this shirt. This is the way, this Mandalorian shirt, Heroes and Villains. Go and take advantage of the great stuff over at Heroes and Villains as well. They're not paying me for that. I'm just saying this is great shirts. They sent it to me for free, so I wear it. I'm very fortunate that they reached out to me and sent me some stuff. So if you haven't bought it, you need to buy some stuff there from. They have great quality clothes. Let me tell you some quality clothes. A guy with shoulders like this, you know what I'm saying? It's quality clothes. It keeps it in. All right, let's hit these super chats, and then we'll hit that last moment and talk about what that might mean. Tim Sim in here. Thank you, Tim. Good to see you, brother. He says, now that we're halfway through the series, what do you think of how Filoni's live action show is at this point? Also, how do you advise Star Wars fans who want to watch CW or Clone Wars and Rebels for the first time after Ahsoka? Ooh, man, that is tough. If you want to watch it after Ahsoka, that is tough. I think better people than me, Tim, are going to create roadmaps to watch Clone Wars and Rebels without having to watch all of Clone Wars and Rebels. If you want to have more background on Ahsoka so that you can go back and rewatch the series and have even more fleshed out for you if you haven't yet. But I'm sure there are already people who are on the different websites like Screen Rant, whatever, who can tell you what episodes. We covered some episodes on the Jedi Way with Laura Kelly and Kevin and I talking about what episodes you need to watch to get you primed for Ahsoka and primed for this series from Rebels and from Clone Wars. So go back and watch those sections of our episodes, and you can take notes there, write down those episodes and watch them. I'm loving the live action series. I like things that take their time. As long as they keep my attention, I don't mind how long you're taking. So for me personally, I've enjoyed the live action Ahsoka very, very much. I think the performances have been damn good. I liked, except for, no offense to Diana Lee and Osanto, her Morgan Elsbeth is a little too mustache twirly for me, but because everyone else is doing this layered, complex, nuanced, interesting work. And I have a feeling when Mickelson shows up, he's going to be also kind of out acting her. No offense to Diana Lee. I think she's certainly a wonderful person and a great legacy in her family. I just don't think she's giving this thing more levels, and I would like to see more levels. But other than that, I've enjoyed the performances all around. I like that they're taking the time, laying the groundwork for the conflicts in these relationships, laying the mystery out for why certain people are doing the things that they're doing, and then bang, leading us into some good action sequences. I mean, look, those 3 episodes, people were complaining the first 3 episodes, oh, there's not enough action, not enough action. This is why, because you had to understand the emotional stakes, the stakes of the story, so that when these battles were happening, you as a viewer could bring all of that to the battle and all of that emotion. When Sabine does not destroy the map and gives the map to BAYLAN, that is a bit of a betrayal of Ahsoka, and you know that Sabine has always walked her own path. She's a headstrong alpha, and it's a bit of a betrayal of Ahsoka. So what's that going to lead to? So the fact that we have all that time with them for the first 3 episodes, it makes that moment even more powerful, in my opinion. Haunted_Autumn says, coming in late, much of this probably discussed already, best hyperspace jump in the saga, in my opinion, 100%. The samurai vibes of the duels here. Yes, I spoke about that, which are really cool. Haunted, glad you caught that as well. Filoni going full Filoni with the lore. It's so beautiful. Yeah, 100% agree with you. The hyperspace jump was incredible to witness and brutal, right? I mean, so brutal in what happens to the ships there, and almost what happens to the Ghost, right? Because, I mean, Jason is there with HERA. The only misstep, I think, was Jason saying, I've got a bad feeling about this. I get it was a shout out to Star Wars, and I get the line, but it didn't seem merited from a character that we've barely gotten to know live action. So for me, I would have liked to have seen him say that before the hyperspace thing happened. Like if he had said that as things were revving up and Teva's like, wait, there's a really powerful force we're detecting here and all of this. If they had said that in the back and forth, and then Jason said, I've got a bad feeling about this, and then boom, the hyperspace happened, that's a better placement of that line rather than after it's all happened. That just doesn't make any sense for me personally. So, but yes, I love seeing the hyperspace jump. The samurai vibes were great. And yes, Filoni jumping into the lore big time. I mean, that shot of the space map when you're Peter Ramsey did a wonderful job directing this thing, pulling back and having us see that dome of a space map on the edge of the cliff as it's moving around. I thought that was really wonderful, wonderful direction in Star Wars. Tim Sim coming back saying, also, it's telling to me of which fans watch CW, Clone Wars and Rebels, and which fans haven't, based on the reaction to seeing the world between worlds is exciting or infuriating, really interesting stuff. Yeah, if you're infuriated by the world within worlds or world between worlds, it's because you haven't watched the episodes of Rebels that applies to, and Clone Wars that applies to. So you got to watch that stuff. You do. And this is the new way to do things, guys. I mean, there's no going back. Disney's not going to be doing one-offs for the rest of everything is connected. And that's how they're approaching things. And so you can complain about it. You can do your Don Quixote act at the windmills and tilt at them all you like. But Disney is not changing what the hell they're doing. They're not changing their path and not changing what they're going to, how they're going to go forward with this content. And so you either get on board or you get left behind. Sadly, that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And I know we all don't have time, so I totally understand it. I'm not telling you in any way, shape, or form to, stop working or stop seeing your friends or stop hanging out with people to see all these episodes. I'm just saying this is just the reality of things. Haunted_Autumn says, absolutely do a live reaction to the remaining episodes, catch the hype wave, then do a reaction breakdown video with the Geek Buddies the next day. Well, and the Jedi Way. I actually do Geek Buddies next day and then Jedi Way after that for sure. So yes, thank you for the Streamlabs and Super Chats. Appreciate them very, very much. The Streamlabs just pins in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. But yes, let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Chopper, they cut away before Jason threw up all over that ship. That was his family. Probably Ryan. Probably right. Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, HERA risked her son's life in that moment. So, maybe some questions there, a little bit of the parenting. But hey, it's a tough world. And certainly HERA was introduced into being a rebel at a young age, just like Ahsoka was. So, there's a lot going on here. What did you guys think of BAYLAN bringing up Sabine's family, her Mandalorian family dying because of her master? What did you guys think of that? What was the feeling around that? So interesting to hear him referencing that. All right, we're at almost 400 of you joining me live. Wow, this is a real surprise. Didn't anticipate all these people joining me live. I've been going on for about 26 minutes here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel down below and hit that bell button. We're about to talk about that final moment in the episode here in just a second. So I really enjoyed everything we got ahead of time. Loved the battles. Loved HERA coming in, trying to be the cavalry in essence, but the cavalry not really getting the job done. So I like that this is more of a realistic approach to this whole situation, right? Ahsoka is determined to get to that map, does whatever she can to get to that map, but BAYLAN is a worthy adversary. BAYLAN has been around for a while, so this is a huge test for Ahsoka, and I loved that they were in essence equals, and he did get the best of her eventually. Obviously, because she injured her hand with the map, she might have had a better chance to beat him without an injured hand, but it does end up that way. And SHIN, HATI, and Sabine going back and forth on this, I think is really cool and interesting as well. And SHIN having to confront someone who can use the Force with much more power than she can, besides BAYLAN, I think is a wake-up call for SHIN, HATI as well. Morgan doing her thing, getting the coordinates, hyperspace jumping, and clearly showing you that it doesn't matter who's in the way, she will destroy everyone to get to Thrawn. She's very much dialed in to getting Thrawn back. So you see that in that pursuit. And you can also make the connection with Sabine that she also has a little bit of that within herself to get Ezra back. And BAYLAN saying to her, look, we have the same common goal, which is to get to this place and bring these people back. So come with me and let's do this. It doesn't mean that she's going to the dark side. I saw some people already speculating this could be the beginning of Sabine going to the dark side, which I think would be a horrible misstep. It's more a matter of the fact is that her love and her care for Ezra overcame what she thought she was supposed to do, or what she thought she would do in that moment. And how many of us can say what we're going to do before it happens, before that actual situation actually presents itself? And I think Ahsoka said that to her as well, that sometimes, did I write the line down? I don't know if I wrote the line down. Oh yeah. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of personal feelings. And clearly that was a little bit of a shot at Anakin, or a reference to Anakin, but also other things Ahsoka has done in the past that's right, regardless of feelings. So that was bubbling through as well. All right, so here we go. The end of the episode was so interesting, right? They take off the hyperspace. HERA's dealing with the ramifications of what just happened and the after effects of that hyperspace, and we lost a couple of X-Wing fighters. And we go to the cliff, we go to the ruins. Now, I'm thinking, I know she's not dead. I know she's not. It's called Ahsoka. They're not going to kill her in the 4th episode, for God's sakes. But as we're going over, I'm like, wait, is she in the water? Is she going to pop up? And then all of a sudden, we see her in this massive shot. And I was super surprised at what we got. Again, these are spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, stop now, for God's sakes. Don't have this ruined for you. And I wanna see if I've taken the picture. Oh, damn, it's a WebP. Give me a second. We see Ahsoka come into frame, and she is massive compared to what we were just looking at, which is the water down below. And then we hear this voice in the background. We hear this voice come through as she's sitting there. And by the way, I thought the design of how she is kind of lost in this ethereal world. Let's take a look at it real quick. I want to bring it up for you guys because I thought the design of this was really, really cool, and how they were able to convey what they wanted to convey here, I thought was damn cool. She was kind of glowing and vibrant. And in that moment, I'm thinking, like right there, I'm thinking to myself, like, what is happening here? I don't know about you guys, but I didn't 100% get it initially. And then when I heard the voice of a certain someone and I heard the word snips, I was like, I mean, literally, I was going crazy inside myself for this because I couldn't believe what they were showing us. And I thought that certain somebody, again, these are spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, turn around now. But I thought that certain somebody was going to be in flashbacks. I did not think that we were going to get the world between worlds so quickly. And that's where she's on this walkway in space. And she gets up. And for those of us who've seen Rebels and Clone Wars, we know the world between worlds. We know what that is. And she turns around and she sees Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, back in Star Wars again. And he says, I didn't expect to see you so soon, with a smile on his face. And I got to tell you, man, you know, last week when we were doing the reviews on the Jedi Way, I said, like, the less of Hayden Christensen, the better, because, you know, it's always tough to weave that in because people have their ideas and thoughts about the prequel trilogy and whatever. And it's good to give him in doses, but this is how you do it. I mean, this is great. He almost looked a little bit de-aged. He looked young, vibrant. The scar was still there. And what was great was the look on Ahsoka's face, right? Someone described it so well. When she looked at him, it was like this mixture of awe and wonder and joy and sadness, and then a slight hint of terror. And the episode ends. And I watched with closed captions. I always watch with the closed captions in case I need a spelling for a planet or a location or whatever, so I can look it up for reviews. And it says Vader's music. And that's how it ends, with these ominous tones, these ominous beats from Vader's theme. And so I thought that was fantastic. It's not a CGI Anakin. He's just de-aged. But damn, the moment was so moving, was so touching. Yet now you're like, well, what happened? Because we know in the world between worlds, for those of you who haven't seen it, like, you can pull people out of dangerous situations. We saw Ezra and Ahsoka consider that in Rebels, in the final season, when they're in the world between worlds, but the possibility is there. So did Anakin reach in and yank her from a certain death onto the walkway? Has Anakin discovered the world between worlds while he was on another mission? Where did he have access to it, is what I'm trying to say. Of course, he's experienced it before, but did he have access to it? How did he get access to it? And is this an exploration of how these Jedi become Force ghosts? So there's a lot of mystery. Once again, Filoni is so smart with giving us mystery that wants us to come back the next week to find out what's going on. And I wonder if next week, which is his episode, Filoni's going to direct the next episode. I wonder if this is going to be the exploration, real deep exploration of the world between worlds. Are we going to get some closure between Ahsoka and Anakin and what happened? Because remember, this is Ahsoka, 5-6 years after the death of Anakin, 5-6 years after a while after the death of Padme, and then 5 or 6 years after her realizing that he was Darth Vader, and that fight in Rebels. So how much of that is going to be weighing on her mind? And is she going to be suspicious? Is this really Anakin? Is this something else? So a lot of questions here looking at this. But I thought the way they designed the World Between Worlds was so well translated live action. And I thought the interaction between them, because this is an older Ahsoka. This isn't Snips anymore, even though he called her Snips. And remember, the last time they saw each other, right, was like that end before the battle, before he turns, as we saw in season 7 of Clone Wars. So there's unfinished business here. And certainly that battle in Rebels between them, which is one of the best moments or scenes of the series, carries weight as well. So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions here that I liked it. Hans Cholo, respect Hans Cholo. Oh, nice avatar there, bro. Nice picture there of the Schnepp man, King Sweaty himself. Hans Cholo saying the lightsaber fights were awesome too. Yeah, brother, I agree. The lightsaber fights were fantastic. This episode is, and this is why sometimes, man, Star Wars fans, y'all got to chill. Let a motherfucker cook in the kitchen. Filoni was cooking in the kitchen, y'all. You guys watch The Bear. It takes time to bring out an incredible meal. It takes time. You may want it quickly, but you got to respect the time it takes in the kitchen to cook the meal for you so that you can fully enjoy it. Because already, I'm only halfway. We're all only halfway through this first season. I'm already looking forward to rewatching this season after it finishes. I literally may do an all-day watch-along of season 1 of Ahsoka. Once season 1 of Ahsoka ends, I may that Saturday just pop all the episodes on. Maybe I'll do an all-day live watch-along, and we'll watch it together, all 8 episodes there. Bring your popcorn and your food and hang out with me. We'll take bathroom breaks. But maybe I'll do that. I'll put a little timer up so everyone's on the same page. But yeah, because this is what you do. You take the first 3 episodes, you lay the groundwork, and then you pay it off in the 4th episode. And now we're going to see what the 5th episode is going to give us, because I'm so looking forward to seeing what we're going to get there as well. No, watch-a-thon for charity. Yeah, that might be nice for the Maui wildfires. I'm sure people are still going to be suffering with all of that, by the time this series is over for sure. So yeah, that's not a bad suggestion there, Charlie. I appreciate that. It's certainly a possibility. Justin Townsend spent 5 hours fixing my pot roast today for dinner and Ahsoka. That's right, son. See, you understand, Justin. You get it. It takes time to cook. So let the man cook, for God's sakes. No, James, I'm saying when it's all done, Jonas, I'm saying when the series finishes in 4 weeks, I may do a watch along of all 8 episodes that following Saturday, like that Saturday right after the Tuesday or Wednesday that it drops. So that's what I'm saying there. So, or Tuesday that it drops. That's what I'm saying there. So, all right. So there we go. So let's hit some more of these Streamlabs and super chats here. But I have a lot of questions. That being said, I really liked how they handled everybody's journey in this episode. I really do. And I'm going to have more to say when I do the reviews with the Geek Buddies and with the Jedi Way crew. But there is so much to have mystery and questions about. And I look forward to seeing how they're going to answer all of this. Haunted Autumn, did I already read yours? Oh, yeah. Haunted _ Autumn said, Baylan bringing up the fact her family died on Mandalorian was perfect. Exactly. It set the stage for every type of viewer to understand that Ezra is the last family she has left and she can't leave him behind. Excellent observation, Haunted. Yes, 100%. I was wondering why he brought up the family, but of course, he's using it to play on her emotions, to twist her, to manipulate her so that she gives the map to him so he can put it on there and get the coordinates. 100% correct, brother, man. 100% correct. I'm 2FlyCam AWA says, Rocha, I would love to see Geek Buddies Jedi Way team up for the Ahsoka finale if that's possible. I mean, seeing Anakin was great, but what did the Vader theme mean? Right. Is it really Anakin or a trap? Exactly. That's not an accident. That's on purpose, hearing the Vader theme. And is that her? Because the last vestiges of her look before we go to black is her having a little bit of terror at seeing him again. So is that a bit of worry? Is that Ahsoka's point of view, a bit of worry of what, of who Anakin becomes? Because can she love Anakin considering what he becomes? Can she appreciate and care for this Anakin, considering what he becomes? You know, and don't forget that stuff that happened between them with the father, the brother, and the sister. They're on that world, on that planet. God, I'm forgetting the name of the planet. It starts with an M, but on that planet, what they experience, and Ahsoka dying, and the sister giving her life again, and Anakin seeing the future of what he's going to do. So I wonder if that episode will come into play in these interactions with them, for sure. So good questions. I'm too Fly Cam. Hunter_Autumn says Ahsoka the White Rebels ending comes back to us at the turn of the tide. They will follow the Purrgil on their migration route. The way Ezra was lost is the way he shall be found, the living force. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, right. It can she essentially be the Gandalf of this situation and come back in all white, coming back from the dead. Yeah, very much possible. Very much possible. So we shall see. Tim Sim saying, so far the live action reveal of the World Between Worlds have been intriguing, but want to find out more online. And also a few who declared this as Disney ruining Star Wars again with MCU multiverse mess. Oh yeah, that's ridiculous, Tim. I don't know why you give that stuff life. Why you give it any breath? Just enjoy the show. If you're having fun with the show, who gives a shit what anyone else says, man? Just enjoy the show. You like how they're constructing it. You like how they're working it. It works for you. That's all you need to care about. Like everyone else can cry and bitch and moan and get all angry, but you know, that's their fucking shit, man. Just enjoy the show and have fun with it if it's working for you. So, and there's not much that people are going to say. They're going to speculate about the World Between Worlds, but just like Civil War, just like the Infinity Gauntlet, and just like other stories that have been adapted from other source material, I imagine Filoni's going to add new mythology to this World Between Worlds. So yes, there are going to be a lot of speculative videos. YouTube channels got to run. YouTube channels got to get clicks and make money. But I don't think anyone's going to know really what's going on in the World Between Worlds until Filoni lays out more of the groundwork of it in the next episode, which will be interesting to see. Stubby-Wan Kenobi says, she has fallen like Gandalf and will return in white. Yes. Also, I think she died, and this is Force Ghost Anakin guiding her, but she rejects death. Ooh, I hadn't thought of it that way. That's actually a really interesting analysis there, Stubby-Wan. Or Stubby-Wan. I also think she died, and this is the Force Ghost Anakin guiding her, but she rejects death. Is it the Force Ghost Anakin? This is, I wonder. And can she reject death? I don't think she can reject death. I'm wondering if Anakin pulled her out. You know, we saw that with Ezra and her seeing that you can pull people out of stuff. So I wonder if that's an element of this as well. A-Rod 2006 said Kathleen Kennedy bringing Hayden home to Star Wars was the best thing she's ever done. Well, I would say there are a lot of things Kathleen Kennedy has done well in Star Wars. I know it's fashionable to hate on Kathleen and whatever, but I loved Rogue One. But you know, you got to be fair. If you enjoyed Andor, that's Kathleen Kennedy. If you enjoyed Rogue One, that's Kathleen Kennedy. If you enjoyed The Force Awakens, that's Kathleen Kennedy. For those of you who loved The Last Jedi, that's Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, Kenobi back and forth, but people are seeming to reappreciate Kenobi all over again. People are reappreciating Book of Boba Fett. Guess what? That's all under Kathleen Kennedy. The Mandalorian, Kathleen Kennedy. So you can't just pick and choose what to hate her for, what not to hate her for. Just like a quarterback, you got to judge the completions, the touchdowns, the interceptions, the wins and the losses. You got to judge it overall because that is the person in charge of the team. And like a head coach in charge of the team, same thing here with Kathleen. So you got to give her flowers if you're going to try to burn some of her flowers as well. Mark Valbala says best yet, but hoping Anakin and Ahsoka don't kiss. They won't kiss. It's ridiculous. There's never been that tension between them. So don't even. All jokes aside. Oh, good. He was joking. Let's speculate. She goes into a portal and comes back somehow. Longtime watcher of the Geek Buddies. Hey, keep up the GW. Thank you. Good work. Thank you very much, Mark Vella. I appreciate that. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how she comes back in a portal. We'll see if there is a portal that opens up for her to go in, because I imagine that there are limits to the World Between Worlds. I imagine that there is stuff that goes on in the World Between Worlds. So there are, how could I say this? There are tenets, there are consequences, there are ramifications of the decisions that you make in the World Between Worlds. It's not a get out of jail free card. Like anything that exists, there are good and bad elements to it. So what is the price she's going to pay in order to be able to come back? This is the question that I really come back to, you know, because I think people love Ahsoka, but I wonder what this is all leading to in the movie Filoni is going to direct. So going to be very, very curious. And also, I imagine we're heading to Thrawn. So that's going to be the next thing for sure in the next episode too. Seeing Morgan Elsbeth, seeing Shin Hati, seeing Baylan, and seeing Sabine in handcuffs heading towards Thrawn and eventually towards Ezra. So going to be real curious to see what that's all about. Empire Fan 1980 says, what's this Geek Buddies? I thought it was Greek Buddies. Oh, yeah, very funny. Greek Buddies, right. But anyway, yeah, those are my overall thoughts on this. I should end it now. It's 45 minutes. I should probably go and rest. It's 9:15 here in the evening. But yeah, I just wanted to react to it because I needed to get this out of me. You all know who follow me for a long time. Sometimes I got to talk about something to get it out of me and have fun with y'all. And I love interacting with you all. And I thank you very much for the Streamlabs and the Super Chats. And much love to all of you for hanging out with me. This is just a reaction, not a review. The reviews will be tomorrow. Geek Buddies review tomorrow. And then the Jedi Way review will be dropping the next day on Thursday at some point there for you all to consume and enjoy. But thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight and letting me get all of this out of me. It's almost like Star Wars therapy for me. I need to get it out. I need to hear, I need to say the things I need to say about it. And I need to hear from you all who are fantastic. So thank you very much, the 400 of you who joined me here to have fun talking about Star Wars. Great lively chat here. You guys are awesome. Honestly, you guys are so intelligent, so smart about Star Wars. You care about this franchise. I learned so much by some of the stuff you guys say here in the chat or in the comments in the YouTube videos that we do. You guys just are always, because you know my approach is more of the philosophical tenets of Star Wars. You guys are sometimes bringing forward some of the nuts and bolts of stuff, also and your analysis and your points of views. All of that is great to see. So thank you very much for letting me into your lives and for watching tonight. Appreciate it madly. As I'm leaving, please remember to subscribe to the channel down below and hit that bell button so you see we're dropping all the content we do here on the Outlaw Nation channel. There won't be time codes for this one because there's no way I can break all this into time codes, but please make sure you hit a like on this video, share it on your social media, and more than anything else, subscribe to the channel down below as well. And if you want to support us on the Patreon, there's going to be some new benefits coming very, very soon. I'm probably going to announce them either tomorrow or Thursday. The new benefits for the Patreon. If you want to join the Patreon, patreon.com/John Rocha, support the channel and everything we got going on here on the channel. We just crossed 30,000 subscribers, trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers. Help me get there as soon as possible. All right, you guys are the best. Much love to you. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Enjoy your evening. And don't forget, tomorrow we got the review. And then Thursday for the Geek Buddies, and then Jedi Way the next day after that on Thursday, and the Hot Mic as well. So be well, take care of yourselves, y'all, and may the Force be with you. Peace.